Hey everybody, 5thHorseman here, playing more Kerbal Space Program, and we're at our last steps on Gilly. And those last steps are building our Kethane base. The Kethane module for our base, I should say. All we got to do is, I've already got the UI open here. I need to click build, and then it's floating over here for some reason, which I'm going to say is odd. Let's go ahead and release that. Let it fall. I just realized also that this has no control because I was planning on building something else. I hope this doesn't blow things up. If it does, I'm going to restore from my backup here. Actually, let's make a new backup. I forgot I was going to build something else. I have a new tugboat. I think I called it Tug with Claw. No, maybe I called it Claw Tug. Claw Tug, there we go. Let's load that one up. We want it to have full electric charge and full monopropellant. We want to build it. There we go, that's what we want. Release him. Now, his job is to use the new claw. Let's control it from here. Let's arm it. Let's turn our RCS and our computer on. His job is to not use up all his RCS here. Grab that thing and bring it up here. This is a proof of concept for the tug here. See if it can do this. And it's holding it by the wrong side. Okay, we need to release this. Gilly is a really good place to test all this stuff. I think I need to go into chase mode here. Okay, need to turn on fine controls. Grab it. Ah! The fine controls actually make this thing much harder. And I can't warp. Ha! I can't do the spot time warp thing. Okay, I'm just going to grab this thing. Seriously? Okay, let us get ourselves oriented. Okay, let that thing bounce across the surface here. This is a lot harder than I thought it would be because I can't physics warp. This is so hard. Okay, I am going to fail at this for as long as it takes, and I will be back when I have it. Whew, I got it. Okay. Now let's get this thing back to the base with plenty of monoprop to spare, I swear. Okay, we can still carry it, which is good. Yeah, this guy would basically only work in space and on Gilly. I'm going to need something with a little more oomph to it in once we get to... Oh, here, let's pivot the claw, shall we? Oh, I hate this. Now we're bouncing all over the place. Okay, that's good enough. That's close enough to what I want. Okay. We're still in free mode, which means we want to be like this. There we go. Oops, that's down. Coming on over to the base here. Yeah, I know I can't time warp. I can physical time warp though. Yeah, what I should have done is I should have built the tug first. Oh, I keep going the wrong way. I should have built the tug first. And then okay, we're going to control from here. Or we're going to set target, I'm sorry. Then we're going to control from here, which is going to screw up everything. But I don't care. Okay, let's rotate. It's not actually all that bad. It's fairly close to what I want. Here, let's get up. All we got to do is get close to it. It's in the... And magnetism will do the rest here. It does have to be fairly close to straight up and down, though. Come on, get back over there. Turn off that. Okay. Now, tugboat, get yourself off of there. Release. Switch to him. Now, the great thing about these tugboats... Well, other than the fact that I can never remember which way is up and which way is down, is now that I have him here, let's see, where do I want to put him? I think I'm going to attach him. To that. Now we can close this. And now he'll just sit there, and he'll even fill up his monoprop because this thing is set to auto pump out. So now he's ready for his next job. Now this thing, let's go ahead and start this. Deploy the Cathane drill, please. And it's funny, it's correctly orientated up and down, but it is not correctly orientated with the ship, but I don't care about that. Go ahead and get that drill down into the ground. And bam, we are drilling Cathane. Now this should be filling up in a second here. There we go. Let's go ahead and activate our liquid fuel converter, our oxidizer converter, and our monopropellant converter. And our liquid fuel is going up. And our electricity is still not 100% used, which means we are not overutilizing anything. We have full rocket parts. We can build anything that takes less than 2838 rocket parts. We are slowly gaining metal, which is awesome. And we're just chugging along here. We're filling up with fuel. Things are looking good. This base is done. Our next goal is going to be to get this base, or get a base. The next goal, I should say, for New Zorn and Ankro is to get this base on Eve, or a base on Eve, I should say. But that's not for quite a while. They're going to get reinforcements before that point. If we look here and bring up the alarm clock, I believe I set up another Eve encounter. Yes, 282 days from now, we're going to send up reinforcements. The scrubs are going to take over this base because it's we no longer need important people running it. And Ankro, Nuzor, and probably two other guys are going to head down to Eve and set up the base there, which is going to be one of the more interesting parts of this entire thing. But before that, we've got 54 days before the Ike drills have to do something. And we have absolutely nothing to do except for wait for that. So I'm going to do that right here. I'm going to fill up my liquid fuel, and then I'm going to jump to the Ike drills. You don't need to see that. So I will be back when we are heading to Ike. Okay, everybody, here we are. We are on our drills. We are nearing Duna. And if we set our sights on Ike here, you will see that what we're doing here is we are going to come into the system here. We're going to come around the back of Ike from Duna's perspective. And we're going to swing around here and slow ourselves down at our periapsis to get a encounter. I already see that we want to burn southward on the sun. I might as well do this now to get my encounter nice and equatorial. So I think we can still do this. At least get the periapsis down on the equator. If not, get the orbit equatorial. There we go. That's pretty good. Of course, our periapsis is now... Turn off the Cathane map. Oh, wait. Off the Cathane map. Our periapsis is now 13 meters, 13 kilometers. I am not happy with that, so let's burn... I think it's going to be away from the sun to get him to not crash into the surface of Ike. Oh, nope. I guess we want to burn towards the sun to not crash into Ike. Either way is fine by me. I don't really care. Gonna get this up to about 50 or so. There we go. And 50. Okay, perfect. Now, you notice our two encounters are very close to each other. They're less than a day apart. Less than a Kerbin day. I'm running on Kerbin time, and I always will. I like Kerbin time. So, because they're less than a day apart, this guy's probably going to enter the system of Duna, and then I'm going to have to switch to the other guy to enter him into the system of Duna, which can be interesting. So I'm going to hit F5, and we're going to speed up time here. I don't want to add a maneuver. I want to focus my view on Ike. That's what I said, Gilly. I want to focus my view on Ike, which, yes, we're still set up right. Okay, so now we are 2 days away from that. So this guy's the next thing to happen, so we're going to jump to him. Oh, look at him. Okay, how are we doing? Let's see. So let's speed up. It's kind of funny that the drills are getting there first. It's kind of like the Voyager probes, how the one we launched second got to Jupiter first. I think it was Jupiter. Let's see here. Come on. Where's that? See? Boom. That might have screwed up our... What is our... Periapsis is inside Duna, which really doesn't matter. I don't want to set the probe lander as a target. I want the interface to work as intended. Okay, yeah. That's perfectly fine. Okay, I have all the information I need to set up my my capture burn here. So I am going to figure out what my periapsis should be by using the website that I have linked to in my forum post, which I have linked to on the YouTube page. It's the aero capture calculator. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but I'm gonna figure that out, and I'm gonna set my periapsis to be that, and I will be back in a second. Okay, it said it was supposed to be 13,419. I've got 13,483 or 4. That's going to be close enough. We'll probably have to do a little bit of retrograde burning, probably, I'm assuming. Let's go ahead and set ourselves up a periapsis alarm so we don't fly past Duna. Let's set it up for 2 minutes ahead of time. Let's go ahead and add that alarm. And it's not even the next thing to happen. The Ike drills is the next thing to happen, so let's go ahead and jump to him. Oh, look at that. I see a screenshot here. F2. Let's actually zoom him out a little bit. Okay. That might be the screenshot. Who knows? Okay, even though this thing is the ugliest ship on the face of the Earth. Or on the face of Ike. I don't know. It's not yet on the face of Ike, but it will be. And when it is, it'll be the ugliest thing there. So let's focus our view on Ike. Let's get ourselves all set up here. Let's zoom on down. I'm manually slowing down time because with all the problems I've had. Here comes our Sphere of influence change, and come on. Show us that beautiful bean footage. Close the alarm and pause. 50,000 meters. Perfect. Okay, so now we are going to burn. We're going to do this burn that I should have checked before we did this. The minimum burn is 541. We have plenty. Okay, so I must have actually figured this out. I'm going to use precise node here to make sure this is at my periapsis. And then I'm going to bring my apoapsis right down to 50, so we have a nice circular orbit when it comes time to planning anything. You know what? I changed my mind. I'm actually going to give this guy a really super equatorial orbit. Because he might have to change his plane, and we might as well do that as efficiently as possible. I think 800 is probably overkill. Let's bring it down to, say, 700. Nice and well within Ike's sphere of influence, so we don't have to worry about it. Okay, and that's the next thing to happen. It's in 15 minutes. It is going to be kind of a long burn, I think. And whenever I say I think, that's when I hit F5. Sorry if you hear that bumbling noise in the background. I am making coffee. There's Ike, look at that. Okay, so F5 to quick save. Let's assume it's going to take 5 minutes. Let's just go down to the node alarm here. And oh, look at that. Close an arm and a pause. Let's do this burn 3 minutes and some odd. So we'll say, let's go down to 1.5 minutes and do the burn for full. Now let's wait till we're down to actually 1.5 minutes. And we are burning away. 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Yeah, this is good enough. This won't screw our periapsis up too much. It's actually rising it, which is fine. And this is boring, so I will be back when when this guy's in orbit and we're getting ready to do our aerobraking. Okay, I thought you'd want to see this. We are heading in. We're coming in for our aero capture. Aerobraking. Whoa. And now I definitely want to slow down when we get near the atmosphere because I want to close my solar panels. Although at the absolute worst, yeah, I'm going to wait. We're coming in. Oh, we got a new science possibility here. What are we at? Are we still time warping? No. So we are close enough. Come on. There we go. And retract these panels. Crazy. Oh. Apparently we have some science we can do. Let's do a crew report and keep it. And let's do an EVA report. Why not? Who is charged with doing this EVA report? R.D. Kerman. Keep your data. Take all the data out of there and get back in before you die. Okay, we are a minute from our periapsis alarm. Okay, we are still outside of the atmosphere, apparently. We want to aim ourselves prograde here. And down a little bit, because... yeah, we can't warp anymore, so we are within the air of Duna. So I'm going to physics warp. I think I said I couldn't non-physics warp. But we can physics warp, and we're coming in. We're going to burn off all of our orbital velocity that we don't want, and probably a little bit more. Whoa, apparently this guy is somewhat oddly aerodynamic. Looks like we might not see any re-entry heat, because we are already going back up. So yeah, no re-entry heat. Not a big deal. Cruising along. Don't know where Ike is. Looks like he's not. Oh, there he is. Hi, Ike. We'll be to you in a minute. Well, couple hours. Perhaps a few Kerbin days. We're climbing back up out of the atmosphere. We are out of the danger zone. Danger zone? And we are essentially out of the atmosphere. And we are still on an escape trajectory, as we always are when we try to do these things. So we are going to burn retrograde. To get ourselves a periapsis, or an apoapsis. We got plenty of fuel. I'm not concerned at all that we're going to run out of fuel on these guys. Well, he's got 1,000 meters per second of delta V. It's not as much as I would like, but that's why we did this aerobraking. I will never understand what the calculator thinks compared to what is true. I just don't know. Once we get in orbit, I'm going to bring it down so we're hopefully get an Ike encounter. That would be the ideal thing. Would be just get an Ike encounter and be done with it. As soon as we see one, I mean, we've got to eventually have one. Well, I guess we don't have to eventually have one. I think actually a smart move would be to stop here, go out to our apoapsis here, and burn like this. And a little prograde to get our periapsis above Duna's atmosphere. And our orbit touching Ike's orbit here. And then we can wait until we have an encounter. That way we're not wasting a ton of fuel trying to do things and stuff. So let's set ourselves up. This is 2 days from now. It's the next thing to happen. So let's just crank it. Oh, we're 23 days from our 2 Joule. So the next thing we're going to be doing here is launching a Joule ship. Where's Duna? There's Ike. There's Duna. Crazy lighting. Yeah, it's crazy when you don't want to encounter Ike. It's one of the hardest things to get done. When you do want to encounter Ike, you never seem to touch his orbit. It's kind of like red lights and green lights. Okay, close the alarm and pause. It's a 7-second burn. Let's go ahead and crank down time. And there we go. In 3, 2, 1, go. We're apparently for the first time in orbit around Duna. I guess that makes sense because our periapsis is above the atmosphere now. Okay, good enough. Okay, now we have an orbit that crosses Duna's orbit. Or Ike's orbit. And if we wait until we and Ike are in conjunction here, we should be able to do a burn over here to make it better over here. But that means we have to check back on this guy every once in a while. And the next thing to happen is we're going to launch our Joule ship. So I need... Oh, wait a minute. We already have a Joule ship. We're going to launch a resupply mission. We're going to make just a transporter. We're going to send, say, half dozen dudes up to Joule. Because we are... The seed pod that we're sending up to Pole is going to actually eventually build all the stuff to send to all the other planets. So we need people to man those things. So I'm going to figure out how many people we need. I'm going to build a ship to send them to Joule. And we're going to do that. That's going to be, though, in probably the next episode. Because I'm done for the day. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I, as always, enjoyed making it. I am 5thHorseman, and I will, as always, talk at you later.